Hi there, stampers and crafters. My name is Tami White from stampwithtami.com, and welcome to our online class where we are going to be creating these beauties. We're going to be doing some custom coloring so that you can match projects to a set, to any color scheme that you have going on. I'm going to show you how to customize some Botanical Prints Designer Series paper, which is absolutely gorgeous. I think I'm addicted to this paper. So welcome aboard. I see a bunch of you on here. I am so honored to have you on our class today, those of you who are watching live, and also those of you who may be watching the replay on YouTube or Facebook following the live broadcast. I have Prize Patrol for our online class today, and that is the Soft Spring Hostess stamp set. I will be giving 2 of these away. I'll be giving one away immediately following this broadcast and one on February 14th. So you don't have to be watching live to be entered into the drawing. So all you need to do to enter is leave a comment on the original video. So if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube and you're watching the original video, leave a comment. And if you share this video onto social media with your crafty friends and type the word shared into that original video, you will also be entered a second time into the replay drawing. So I am going to jump right into our projects today. These are the cards that we're going to be making. We'll make the set here today. I love these. I love this Botanical Prints medley. Like I said, I think I'm addicted to it. I can't stop stamping with it. And so I do have a free PDF for our online class today, and it contains all of the measurements for all of the cards that we're making, as well as a supply list. And there's also a spot here to take some notes from the video if you want to take some notes there. So in case you're following along later, want to create this later. These projects also go with my Botanical Prints gift set kit. So that is actually available now until February 5th. And I want to show that to you real quick because, like I said, I love it. But actually, the kit uses the exact same supplies as the class that we're using today, and you can get a really good deal. I'm giving a special offer on it, but only until February 5th, and it comes along with the blends that we're using today and some other pieces of the class. So this is an acetate card box. It comes with the envelopes. It's also going to come with this is a treat box here that you'll be making in that class, and also these are the cards that class tutorial has. There'll be a video and a tutorial on how to make all of these classes. We have some really fun techniques here. There'll be some coloring techniques. There'll be some stenciling techniques. Beautiful, beautiful set here. And spotlighting technique. Lots of fun here. Lots of fun. All of this kit here and the class that we're making today comes from Botanical Prints. And Linda and I did a Stampin' Scoop on Botanical Prints last week. In case you missed it, you can check out the Stampin' Scoop show and check out even more projects made with this. It is in the 2020 Spring Mini Catalog, and that is on page 61. It's an entire medley. So it comes with everything you see here. Pretty awesome, right? So you're going to get the stamp set here, and this is what's in the dies. There's a matching set of dies. I love these frames. These cut out the stamp sets here, and we also have some leaves. We'll be using those today. And then in addition to all of that, you've got designer paper, you've got the ribbon, we've got die cuts here that also coordinate, but when we're done with all of this stuff, all of this lives on and can coordinate with some other stuff. There's some dies here, and don't forget these really sweet dragonflies. All right, so that is what the medley is. That is all included in my kit, by the way. You get the whole thing, and you get these Stampin' blends that we're going to be using today. So you can check that out on stampwithtami.com. We are going to start our project today with this this card. We're going to start with well, I'll start with the stamping, and then we'll move into the coloring. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp the words, and I'm using the layering circles dies here. So this is a staple. I love it. I use it on circles. Obviously, is something that circles and squares you use on a lot of crafting projects, right? So I layered the second largest of that the circles I pre-cut these. This is the second largest out of Whisper White and the second largest of the scallop, because there's coordinating scallop dies that go with that, out of basic black. And then we're just going to take some Memento black ink. And there's some great words. The words in this set kind of make it good for all occasions. So it's great that this is kind of an all occasions set with tons of ideas. We're going to go with thank you kindly for this card. Make it a thank you card. And then I'm just going to attach these two together, and then we'll put them aside and we'll assemble in a minute. All right, so next up we're going to do some coloring. Now, for those of you out here, and I see it often when I start doing coloring with the Stampin' blends, some of you out there, you love the look of it, but you get a little nervous when you see the Stampin' blends. You know who you are. I know, I see your comments. So the beautiful thing about this paper, and let me show you this paper before I start coloring. This all comes in that medley, in that Botanical prints medley. So there are 6 different designs. So these are the different designs here. And they're all like prints on one side. On the back, they're all black and white, which means we can customize these for anything, right? They'll match everything that we do. So right now I'm using this right here, and we are going to turn this beauty into this. And wait till you see how easy. Now, even for those of you who are nervous, when you see the coloring, you get a little nervous and you're like, oh my gosh, I love what you're doing, but there's no way mine's going to look like that. You know, we do the blending, and quite frankly, it's not very difficult to do. Once you start doing it, you get addicted to the blending. So with this paper, it's naturally shaded. So you actually don't need to blend the blenders. This is a little secret. You can actually color this paper and it looks like it's blended, and all you have to do, now watch this, can you see that okay? I know I'm a lefty, so sometimes I cover the project while I'm coloring. I have the light Calypso Coral Stampin' Blend marker here. And, whoops. Sorry, I lost the comments for a second there. Anyways, that's it. That's it. Now I'm going to zoom in just a hair so you can see. Check that out. It looks like it was blended, right? So awesome. And the paper is just gorgeous. And I'm just going to keep going here. All around, both sides of the paper is gorgeous. But there is actually 8 sheets of each in the kit, so you don't have to hoard it, which is, you know, very cool, because I know how we get with the paper, right? You get it and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to use it, but you can use this because there's a lot of it. I'm going to move into, and this one is Mango Melody. Also, Daffodil Delight would look really pretty here too. And like I said, these are the same colors that I used on the kit. So these projects actually expand. So there's just extra things that you can do with that kit. I always love when you have options. And then we're going to do the leaves and some light Old Olive. And so I'm using all of the light markers here. I didn't use any dark colors on this particular project. I just used all the lights because it already, when you just color in like this, it already looks like it's shaded. And I just feel like coloring is like therapy, right? Do you feel like it's therapy? You know, they came out with those adult coloring books, and you know, you just get in there and start coloring, and it's like all of your troubles just go away for a little bit, and you can just, you know, color, and your brain is just like free because you're doing something with your hands. I think that's what makes it so therapeutic, but it's way cheaper than therapy, I'll tell you that. Oh, but not only that, when you're done, you have this beautiful, beautiful piece, this beautiful work of art. Oh yeah, I see. I have some. I have some others out there that love to color for therapy. Now on this one, I felt like this is really pretty, right? Do you see how this is coming to life? Just with a little bit of. I mean, this was what, 2 minutes worth of coloring? Not even. I'm taking the Balmy Blue marker and doing the background, and Linda also did this on the Scoop Show with the project that she did on the Scoop Show, but this just completely brought the whole scene to life. And it looks like this is paper that you've printed. I mean, it's so beautiful. And it's so easy to get that look. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, through the magic, through the magic of video, ta-da! We have an almost colored in here so you can see what it looks like when it's done. And I could sit here and play with this paper all day. Like I said, I got kind of addicted to this kit and I just kept going and going and going. And at some point I'm like, you're going to have to put it down and play with something else. Yes, Lynn, the kit that I'm showing here is the printed, it's the Botanical Prints kit, and when you do the special offer that I'm running right now, you get the class that goes along with it, the bonus class, and you also get 2 free celebration sets, and I appreciate you saying that because I think I missed saying that in the beginning. My kit does come with 2 celebration sets, and for those of you who may be not familiar with celebration is, it's from January to February to March 31st. Every $50 you spend in my online store, you get free stuff. And so the kit actually qualifies for 2 free celebration products, which is pretty awesome. All right, so how beautiful is that, right? It's just 4 markers right there, and it looks like it was already shaded, and it just doesn't. It looks so real, doesn't it, Diana? I mean, it just pops. The whole thing just pops. And so the next step, and I am going to show you something with these Stampin' Blend markers. They are meant to bleed through, so you do want to have something under your workspace when you're coloring with them, because it is meant to actually, they're juicy. They need to be so that you can blend them. And so you just want to keep that in mind, that if you're working on a very beautiful table in your dining room, make sure that you have a mat or a piece of grid paper underneath you. So I do have the measurements for this card on that free PDF, which you can get to on the resource page. So I just cut a little frame here, and then I've got a cardstock base out of, this is terracotta tile. The cardstock is all the colors that match the kit. No blending, Diana. I know, right? We're blending, but we're not. It looks like it's beautifully blended in here. So those of you who are nervous about the blending, you can totally do this, and it will get you over that fear. And then you can step out and actually do some blending, and you won't be as nervous about it. I say just jump in and do it. Now, I put regular dimensionals on the free PDF, the PDF that has the supply list on it, but I thought after, I'm like, duh, the black dimensionals would go so much better because you won't see them if somebody's peeking on the side to reverse engineer your card. They won't see these. So I'm putting black dimensionals on this. I have both of them, white and black. How easy was that card, right? So simple. And our little circle tag that we made it a thank you card, but you could use any of the words on it. And this ribbon comes in the medley as well, in that Botanical Prints medley. It's pretty, it's cotton. And so I just took a tiny little snip there. And a glue dot just to stick it onto our tag. And then the last piece, let's put it on top. I put it on the bottom before, but I feel like I have more space on top for it. So I'm putting it on top. There we go. The last piece of this card is the creme de la resistance. I'm not saying that right, am I? I'm never going to make it in France. This is the copper Dragonfly, and they come in the kit. There's a whole bunch of these guys come in that kit, and they're so adorable, these embellishments. So I'm just sticking him to some mini glue dots, and we're going to put him up here in our greenery, and our card is complete. So we have just created or designed our first background using the Stampin' Blends and that Botanical Prints Designer Series paper. So the next card that we're going to do is this one. Oh, I just absolutely, I love them all, but just this one just speaks to me. And this also uses some of that designer paper from the Botanical. All of this is from Botanical prints. So on the flip side, let me show you the flip side from our little. So this one, and you can color any of these. These are the 6 different designs. So this is the one that we're using now, and this is the flip side of it. You could actually color either side of that. Oh, Terry, you need this one. Absolutely, it's so pretty. All right, so on this one, and these fruits could have been blueberries, they could have been lemons. There's I think you can, we had this discussion on the Stampin' Scoop show. There's so many different ways that you could go with the fruit here. So I'm kind of making up my own. Somebody said kiwi fruit, pomegranate, all different kinds of, cool things that you can do with it, but I don't know. I just decided to make the fruit my favorite colors. So I've got rich raspberry light and the light Calypso Coral again. I'm just gonna color in the fruit. Color in those leaves. Lots of pretty rich raspberry down here. And so the beautiful thing about this is whatever the project is that you are working on, if you're doing a gift set, you can custom color this. You can make the colors anything you want. You can make the fruit whatever fruit you want. You can turn the colors into whatever you're working with, so everything blends together and it looks so nice. And you feel like I'm a master artist here. Kudos on this design because it's just awesome. So you can see how this is coming to life just in that tiny little space right there. You can see how the colors here are just like popping. And through the magic of video, ta-da! Right, we go from this to this in minutes. Just color the rest of that up and get it ready. But you could layer this, you could use it in smaller pieces if you wanted to, layering it on a project, a card, a box, whatever you happen to be creating. You can go so many different ways with this. I just thought it was just so beautiful. I didn't want to hide it. I just wanted to put it front and center on the card. Rich raspberry is very well loved, this marker. This is a good time for me to point out that these Stampin' Blend markers have 2 tips. So you've been seeing me use the brush tip, and I just switched over to the nib tip. This one I think is the nib tip is for more detail on your project. And Mary Jo's asking, is that Mary Lou, she says, is that a dragonfly, a bee, or a hybrid? You know what? That's a good question. I looked at him as a dragonfly, but now that you say that, I'm looking at him. He could be a bee. He doesn't have to be a dragonfly. Hybrid, I like that. We'll call him the hybrid. So if you're not familiar with these Stampin' Blends, they actually come in every color. Well, they don't come in every color that we cover, but our most popular colors come in the Stampin' Blends, and you can purchase them individually or you can purchase them in a combo. Each color, like I'm using Balmy Blue right now, comes in a light and a dark. So when you're blending together, you can shade. But as you can see with this paper, so cool and easy, and you don't have to do any shading. But you can purchase them in a combo together with the light and dark. In fact, I'll just give you a quick little view here of what the colors that we currently have in these Stampin' Blends, and you can purchase them in my online store in any of these colors. But again, if you purchase my special offer kit with the Botanical print, you're going to get these 5 colors that I'm using right now, or you can swap if you already have them. You can swap them for other colors. So that is our sheet for this card. me just move these little guys off to the side. And I am going to go ahead and attach that. And I've already assembled our card base exactly like we did on the first card. If you are tuning in late, you can rewind after the video and you can see the first card's assembly. And here, again, the same. It's the second largest of the layering circles for our words and for our framed scallop. They're both the second largest. This one, we're going to use the word friend, which, again, all occasion, right? This word in particular, friend, when you put that on there, it could be birthday, it could be thank you, it could be sympathy, it could be congratulations, it could just be, hey, just wanted to let you know I'm thinking about you, friend. Just using some snail adhesive to attach those. So you can see we've got a little bit of a border around that with our, with the scallop circle. You know what else is great about, I love doing these classes, one, because, you know, I'm here with you guys. I don't feel like I'm stamping by myself. And I love teaching you guys new stuff and also learning new stuff from you guys. But also right now, you know, that flu is going around that everybody's, you know, very concerned about. And being an online class, you don't have to worry about catching it from me. You know what? We don't have to worry about spreading the germs here. So I guess that is just one more bonus of being able to do this. Not only that, well, we can stamp in our jammies, right? Not that we can do that with our girlfriends too, or, you know, significant others. Okay, so before I was going to attach this and not even tell you about it. So I cut this out of the Botanical print die. So the die's got two of these beautiful decorative corners. And I'm going to show you another fun way to use these on the kit, on the my special offer kit class. But right now, I'm just going to use this as a corner. So I'm going to take some mini glue dots. And you could also attach this with the fine tip glue pen. Adhesives, you know, it is definitely personal, which ones you love the best. Aw, thanks you guys. I'm glad you love stamping with me too. It makes it all worth it. And I'm going to put this, I made it like a pocket, right? I put it over the entire corner of the card. I just love the way that looked. It looked like, you know, everything was slid into this little pocket, dear friend. So that is card number 2. Card number 3 was a little bit different. So the first thing we're going to do, I'll tell you what I did for my die cutting here. I took some copper foil because we have copper dragonflies and because I love copper and I'm addicted to it and I wanted everything to match. So I took some copper foil and those layering circles that we did on card number 1 and card number 2. And this time I cut the third largest out. I cut this out of the center of the panel that we're actually going to place on this card base. And the reason why is we're going to cover this up. So it's just another way of getting some extra mileage out of your cardstock. In fact, let's go ahead and stamp some words on this. What do you think? I'm always here for you. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to take our black ink pad and I'm always here for you. Always. I mean that. And then we'll go ahead and attach that to, and I cut that out of the copper foil. Again, they're the third largest circle and the third largest layering, scalloped from that layering circles dies, the same die set that I cut the other 2 from. Again, that is, to me, that's a staple. And while we're here, we'll go ahead and attach this base to the card. You know what I found? I'm just going to put the adhesive on here. I'm a snailaholic. I love snail. You can see this double-sided tape. But for some reason, something on the back of this paper, if you apply directly to it, it doesn't stick. It's fine when you stick it to the cardstock and stick it, but I'm not quite sure why that is. But that is one of the only times you'll see me attach it, the snail, to the bottom layer and then put this on. Normally I would do it the opposite way. All right, now it's time for some coloring. Now this one is different than the other two. I took this paper, this is the one side of it, and the stripes are on the second. I love these stripes. And I love like just taking a little reveal and putting them on some of the cards. But I also wanted to see what it would look like if we colored it up, because I thought, well, I'm having lots of fun with this set and these blends and playing around here. So, let's go crazy. So I took the Mango Melody and the Calypso Coral markers. However, you could use any of these colors or any other colors as well. Dawn is asking why you never put cling on the back of a stamp. I always put the cling on the back of the stamp, honestly, Donna. This is probably, there's only a couple of these that don't actually, and it's only because when I got it, the stickers were in French. So they're sending me a new set of stickers. But I just didn't have them to stick on there. I would always stick them on only because you need the sticker to cling to the block. I don't know if you know what she's talking about. I should point that out. Normally there's a sticker on the back here that's very clingy, that clings it to this block, that you can put it back on. I don't normally put these on without it, but like I said, I'm waiting for my English version to come in the mail. Yeah, sometimes it happens. You can see from my earlier attempt at French that that's not happening. So now I'm just taking the Calypso Coral and I'm doing every other one so that I could do kind of a back and forth with the Mango Melody. How pretty is that, right? And you could even do this all solid, like not solid, but all one color, rather than mixing it up here like I'm doing. Or you could put a whole rainbow in here. Think of the possibilities. Could have done one stripe in each of these colors and made a soft little rainbow out of them. So pretty. That actually, I wish I had thought of that before I started coloring, because that actually would have looked really cool. If somebody does that, send me a picture of what it looks like. Okay. So our stripes are colored. And I love it. I love it. And there's so many things that you can do here. I decided when I was putting the card together, I wanted to kind of tone that down just a hair. So what I did was I took vellum cardstock and put some vellum over it. So it gives you a really pretty look and it's soft. But before I attached it, I went ahead and did the rest of the assembly. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble this to the card base. And I'm going to tell you why I did all this before I attached the vellum as the very last part. In just a second. Wait, I'm going to leave you hanging. Oh, that was not a very good. Wasn't a very good attach. That was not straight at all. Not even remotely straight. Okay, much better. Much better. I see there's a big conversation going on about stickers now. In the olden days, our clear mount stamps used to be clingier without the label on them. And I know a lot of people didn't used to put them on for that reason. But last year we came out with cling mount stamps, in which case the label is ultra clingy and sticky. And I really want that when I'm stamping. I don't want it to come off. So I always use it, except in this particular case. But there's an exception for everything, right? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stick these on the vellum. On the original, I used oranges. Now I'm going to use, and these are die cuts. I used the die cuts that came in the kit. This is the Botanical Prints kit. However, if I had run out of these stamps would be beautiful, just colored in with those same markers. And then the dies come with it that cut it out. So we'll go ahead and attach this. Switching back to the white dimensionals on this one. I want the words to be right dead smack in the middle. And then the lemons are going to be diagonals. Oh, I got an extra one. We'll just stick that on there for good measure. And then those I just tucked under, just like so. Right? Now the reason why I waited to attach this until after I did all that is because with vellum, you can see it's translucent. You can see through it. Adhesive does show through. It will show through. If I put a strip of snail right here, you would see it. So I'm always careful to make sure that I put the adhesive in a spot where it's not going to be noticed. So I waited until I attached all that to the vellum, and then I will put the snail right in a diagonal behind all of that. Sneaky, right? Okay. And our card would be complete, but I wanted one more thing just because I love these little guys, and that is the little copper dragonfly that comes in that kit, or bee, or hybrid, as we're calling him now. Bumblebee, dragonfly, whoever you are. I'm sticking him to some mini glue dots, and then we're going to stick him. Man, these glue dots do not want to come off today. Oh, I give up. All right, I'm just using one on him, just so I can show you what I did. So I'm going to put him either top or bottom, either one, right there. And then, this is sneaky too. Oh, we got votes on bees. We got votes on him being a bee. Now that I'm looking at him, I think he might be a bee, but I don't know. He'll always be a dragonfly in my heart. Okay, so these same mini glue dots, do you see what I'm doing here? I'm put one behind the dragonfly on the vellum, so that would stick the vellum corner down here. Sneaky, right? No one who knows but us. And card number 3 is complete. Here it is with the oranges, and there it is with the lemons. And again, the stamps too. It would look awesome with any of those. So that completes our card set, our 3 card set, and customizing the Botanical prints paper to make it go with any project that you want just by simply using these Stampin' blends. And don't forget, until February 5th, if you loved this Botanical prints medley, I have a special offer on here on my blog that you can purchase, and you get not only a bunch of freebies, but you're going to get a free class with it, with even more. And you can rewind this back to the beginning. I showed the projects up close and personal, as well as 2 free celebration sets. February 5th is the deadline for that. All right, well, I appreciate you all jumping on. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and I will see you back. We'll be back on Wednesday next week with the Stampin' Scoop Show. We have some sneak peek surprises for you then. Thanks for joining me.